When you look
A
in a
farce.
crystal glass, what do you see? America, 10, 20, 50 years from now, what do you see?
I see
You
the-
saw January 6th. Nobody
saw
else
January
believed you.
6th.
So now look into that glass. Tell me what you see.
If we're not careful, we will see some type of mini repeat of the Civil War. Because I saw probably about 10 years ago, there was legislation that was moving around this country. Because the one thing I noticed about Republicans, they're very organized, and when they move in one state, they move in other states.
Yeah.
But there was legislation to secede from the Union. And I was like, what in the world? So they want to secede from the Union. They wanted to take our money back to the gold standard in the South. And they were doing all of that in an effort to try to...
At the time you were in the
I was in the
Georgia
House-
State's
I was in the
legislature.
Georgia State
and you
legislature.
actually saw
I
legislation
saw the
introduced
legislation. Yes,
to
and
secede.
you can all look it up. If you ever go
So it's
to
not just
Georgia,
some crazy person talking.
Go to Georgia, you can go to Tennessee, go to some of those southern states, and type in secede from the Union. And you'll be able to find the legislation they tried to introduce. Like this is not some mythical conversation I'm having. They really want to go back to the old days. That's why that whole MAGA, see, most people are like, well, what do they mean by make America great again? That's a dog whistle for let's take America back to the days
Where we ran the show.
ran the show, when we had all supremacy, when people were slaves, or when we were in the Jim Crow South. Let's make America great again.
Okay, so then what is wrong with now? Now, okay, America started when whites had all the advantages. Blacks, you weren't even, you are a property. Now we've gotten to the point where there's a semblance. It's still not a level playing field yet, but at least it's getting there. Why would anybody have a problem with that?
Because they don't want to give up their power. So, and it's clear, because the only way that these things can continue is if they vote for them and they perpetuate them. Hillary Clinton would have been the president if white women had voted for her. Why didn't white women vote for her? Because at the end of the day, these white women knew they needed to stand beside their white husbands who gave them privilege. And privilege always ends at the end of the day.
Wow. And so you're worried.
And I'm worried because because if they would go to such extreme to do January the 6th, if they run people down in crowds, if they are taking guns, and most of the mass shootings we have in America are from white boys, white men who they keep trying to say, well, maybe they were disturbed. Well, this is the culture you've created. So what is to stop them from enlarging their reach? Because every day in America, it seems like we have some type of mass shooting.
Yeah.
And we're the only industrialized nation in the world that has that type of violence.
So what would it take to avert it? What you're worried about?
It's going to take generations. This generation is going to have to take a whole nother generation to come. Some people are going to have to really die out. I hate to say it like that, but some people are going to have to die out, and people are going to have to be born for us to get rid of the old and bring in the new.
So the way you describe MAGA now, how do you feel when blacks support the MAGA agenda?
You know what? Some people suffer from cognitive dissonance. That just came to me. So sometimes people want to separate from their reality as they know it. Cognitively, they should know that this is not good, but for whatever reason, they've changed the narrative within their own head to say this could not be, and then they go along with it. It's almost like a Stockholm syndrome, that even though you were oppressed, you began to feel sympathy or empathy for the one who has oppressed you. This is how women stay in abusive relationships, because no matter, even when they know this might not be what I need to do, the abuse does not overshadow your need to be connected to this. And so that unresolved trauma that black people are facing from slavery will allow them to go and say, let me
Did you
help
just
make America.
describe Kanye West?
Yes, that boy is crazy. He's a musical genius that is absolutely crazy.
Okay.